Hey YouTube, it is Bo-Pah
And Boatie.
and we are back making a video. I have to apologize because we have owed you guys videos like forever, but I want to say my iMovie is acting up and I'm not able to sync the sound with the video. Like, I'm talking and then my mouth moves afterwards and it just sucks. We're actually doing our question and answers video that you guys have left for us. We've done this before, but we have to do it all over again. So we decided just to use the phone, like we used to do back when we first started doing videos. So apologize for the quality, but this is all we got for now. You want to read the first question?
Sure. How did you guys select a donor?
How did we select a donor, babe?
Well, we know that we wanted the donor to be my culture,
Cambodian.
Cambodian, so we chose someone that we both agreed on, and we actually picked the same person.
Yeah, like before when we were talking about it, or we initially started talking about it, and about picking, like, either we're going to go a known donor or a sperm bank, we weren't quite sure. When we talked about, trying to find a known donor, we both kind of thought of the same person. And then when we talked about it, we were both like, yeah, I think we should totally ask him. And thank Jesus, I mean, it worked out perfectly because then it worked. And yeah. So, but definitely, I think when people choose a donor, it's just like anything, you want them to have, traits similar to yourself, as similar, as you can get. And we got really lucky.
Yeah, we were very fortunate to, it just, worked out the way that we both wanted it, and it just so happened that we both agreed on that one person, so that was great.
It says, how did you go about getting your donor? Just asked them. I guess it goes into the first question, when we had the idea, I think we were both like, well, we just gotta ask him. And then I think you just like randomly asked him one day, right?
Mm-hmm. I did. It was, that moment where I knew that, it was something that I can bring up and ask the question, so I did, and he said, yeah, of course, anything for you. And
how did you ask him? Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I said, well, if me and, her was to ever want, a baby, would you be willing to be our, sperm donor? And he said yes with no hesitation. He said, of course. And that's how we got our sperm donor.
Yay, we got lucky. Let me see.
And yes, the sperm donor is Khmer, Cambodian.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, so I guess we covered. A couple people asked basically differently about the donor and his background and stuff like that, but I think we covered all those questions. Someone asked why do we always put lesbian couple in our videos, because they don't feel like it's necessary that we have to announce it each and every time in our videos. And the reason we put that is that was my choice, because believe it or not, some people are not going to want to watch us because we're lesbians, as crazy as that sounds. But yeah, I don't want people to come up on our videos and then all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, you're lesbians, I don't want to watch this. And you know what I mean? Like, I put it out there so people know exactly what they're going to get, I don't want to trick anybody into watching our videos. I want them to watch them because they want to. And I think that's how come, like, whenever we initially got, like, our first negative, comment, we were like, how are these people even, they know what they're watching, but yeah, that's basically for people. It's not for me, because obviously I know I'm a lesbian couple, and I don't have to announce it. I don't announce it, when I meet people, hi, I'm a lesbian, we are a lesbian couple. Like, no, it's not like that in the real world, but YouTube is not the real world. It is, but it isn't. I want to basically just to give people that choice.
Yeah, it's kind of like a heads up you know what you're gonna watch, and in the beginning, if you choose not to watch it, then so be it. If you do, then because you're interested.
Right. Do we have a Facebook? Yes, we have a Facebook. I think I put the link on our page, our YouTube page. It's under Bo-Pah Boatie. It says, Boatie, now that you know having a baby is not easy, would you still ever want more? And would you like to basically carry? Since I had Drake. Would you ever want to carry?
No.
No? Do you want to give the reason why?
It's because, just like, growing up, I knew that I was, gay. So, growing up, like, kids growing up, they have this fantasy life that they want. Like, let's say, for instance, little girls, they want to get all dressed up. They pick a wedding dress, and they get married, and they think of all these great things and great places to get married at. And then after the marriage, have a baby, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've never thought about, carrying. I never thought about, marriage like that. I knew that I was going to get married one day, but, I just never see myself carrying. So, and I don't think that, yeah, technically my body's made for that, but
Mentally?
I don't think my body's made for that.
And it's something that we did talk about, you know what I mean, like when we started talking about having kids, like who's gonna carry and if she ever would, and I knew she wouldn't, and I was completely fine with that. Like, I understand that, and maybe some people don't, or some people wonder, like, well, why did you have to have the baby? And it's not that I have to, it's a choice that we made together as a couple. And when we initially, talked about it, we did have the discussion, well, what if I'm not able to carry? What if we try, it doesn't happen? And, what if? Then, at that point in time, she said, well, then we'll go from there, and we'll take it from there. Right now, she knows I am perfectly capable of having a baby. So right now, of course, she's going to be like, nope, I'm definitely not doing it. But, I mean, if this circumstance was different, then I think that it might be a different story then. But it's not. So she don't have to worry about that. Are we going to have any more?
Well, we thought about it.
We did, which is crazy because if you guys watch my post-baby video or whatever after I had the baby, I was like traumatized. Remember, babe? I was so traumatized. I was like, this is not happening ever again. Ever, 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 ever. With my football vagina.
Thanks, babe.
Oh, sorry.
So, yeah, I mean, we would love to try again and, have a baby girl. But, we keep going back and forth with it, and I think that, we're not going to have another baby.
And that's so sad, right? I mean, like, there's a bunch of different things that factor into that, and I don't even know if we should even get into that because that's going to be a whole nother topic. Maybe we'll do a video on that separate because that is a lot. It's not like we take that topic lightly because it's something that we talked about. It's something that was on my mind. Like, it was, all of my Facebook friends know what it is because I was, like, traumatized, But yeah, I mean, I think that when it comes down to it, we're not going to have any more. I don't think it's really hit me that we're not having any more yet. But, because I do think about what it would be like to have a little girl. But my luck, I'd have another boy, and we'd have 3 boys, and that would just be crazy. Okay, next question. So when are you ladies getting married? Do we talk about it or plan it?
We do talk about getting married.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in a rush to get married.
That's a commitment.
We know that, that we will eventually get married. It's just that right now, for us, it's not the right time right now.
Yeah, we will. We're not in a hurry. I mean, we know we ain't going nowhere. We know we are going to get married, but we're not in any rush. We are doing things backwards as you know.
It's
so,
like we're married anyway.
Right. So what is that? Right now, getting married is like more money. That's all I see is dollar signs and me being like, oh, my Atlanta, stressed. So, but when that happens, you guys obviously will know. And then that'll be a lovely, exciting adventure. Do we ever argue? And what is it about?
We argue all the time. Say no. Just kidding. We do, over like little stuff. Nothing too major.
What is the number one thing that you think that we argue about? I can think of 2 things that we argue about. I can think of 2 things.
Our quality time together. We don't have the choice to have quality time all the time anymore.
And quality time is like a whole group of things. It's like quality time and intimacy time, which leads into, affectionate time, like all that just bondingness that we had before. I think that that's one of the things.
I think that is an important thing.
It's very important.
Because, you want to keep it spicy and you want to, keep it new. And it's a connection we have.
Or don't have, which is why we argue. No, babe, just say it. Just say it.
What?
Say what it is we argue about.
Sex?
Right. That's what we argue about. Like that's the argument. And before, it would have taken me a long time to even say that to you guys, because that's, that's a very intimate thing. But the reality is that is what it is. I mean, having a baby changes so much. It changes so much, and the opportunity's not there like it used to be.
It's like get it when you can, but it's like it's not like what it used to be. You even say like, no, it's good, but it's not. It's like we don't have that long time.
It's like a bunch of quickies.
Yeah.
No, but you can't take that time like you did before. It seems like everything is rushed now, or it's planned. And when it's planned, it's not, sometimes it can be not that sexy, because it's like rushed. You're like, and it almost kind of gets to a point where sometimes it's awkward because you both know what you want the end result to be, but it's getting there because you're forcing yourself, because you know that you have to be super quiet, or you only have this amount of time before the kids come home, or, it's, yeah. So, but we try, and we have done a lot, and as things as far as to help us in that department. And compared to a year ago, it's completely different. At least I feel it is. Do you feel it's different in that area?
Mm-hmm. It's different.
Yeah. And like in the beginning, I was in mom mode majorly when I had baby Jake. Like I was super, like, it was hard for me to feel sexy. I because I always had baby on me all the time. And I mean, I still do, don't get me wrong, but now I can separate that somewhat better than I could in the beginning. And getting all that confidence back, because, for me, my experience with getting pregnant, I was super confident before, and then I got pregnant, and then I had a baby, and it all went out the window, and then I had to gain all that back, and then me not being confident, it definitely rubbed off on her. It's because it was my attitude, I wasn't the same. She couldn't touch me in certain places. I'd be like, and not even like sexually, just like, messing around. And I'd be like, don't touch me, you know what I mean? And it was rough there for a little bit. Sorry, babe. Okay. What was the other thing we argued about? 2 things. What was that one? Oh. Now, she says that I bring up the past, and I don't think that I bring up the past like she thinks that I bring up the past. But that's another thing that we argue about. And it's not even, matter of fact, it doesn't even go into an argument because I don't let it. But I know if I say something, if she's feeling some type of way. Because right here, what she's doing, that's what she does. And I'll be like, what's wrong? And what will you say, babe? When I say, what's wrong?
Nothing.
And then you know how it is. You got to be like, what's wrong? And she's feel like nothing. And she'll say nothing until she's ready to talk. But I know her nothings. So, but yeah. But it's because me, I talk and talk and talk, and sometimes I don't think about stuff when I'm talking. But I don't say nothing all crazy. Like, I don't say nothing too crazy. Because...
You used to.
Babe, what did I used to say?
Well, my thing is, okay, yeah, the past is the past. I'm trying to move. You know, we have
Forward.
a future. Yeah, forward together. But life is life, you know. Sometimes things come up, topics come up. But I've gotten to the point in my life that I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about now. I'm worried about the future.
Right, but see...
It's getting old.
But see, this is the thing. Me and her react differently to the past. Because my past was in the past. Like, and it was, like, for real, all past tense. When we first got together, her past was not in the past. Her past was in the present. And I had to deal with it. But was I mad? Would I be all, like, sour when we talked about it? Or get all, like, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong? No. I dealt with it because I was okay with it. So it's, like, different. You know, and maybe that's how come I am so open just to be like, this is what it is, and, you know, and I say what I say because I'm like, I expect her to be like me. So then I have to remember in my head that she's not like me. Just because that's how I am, doesn't mean that's how she is, you know. But it's something that we're working on, you know, and she's working on herself, you know, knowing that I do say things, but it's not, I don't say nothing all crazy. It's not like I'm, like, saying something too, like, for, like, it seems like I sound like I say crazy stuff, but I don't, you know. It's like just the mentioning of something, or, you know, something in the past that happened or whatever that she doesn't like to hear about. Which sometimes, I mean, that's life, you know. My thing was, I don't want to feel like I can't talk about my past because my past is what made me who I am. And I want to feel proud of it. And I think that was my big thing. Because I want to feel proud of who I am, you know, and how I got here. And that's what you're supposed to say. It's okay. It's okay to feel that way.
It's okay to feel that way.
So those are the two things that we argue about. You know, I know she loves me, and I know, you know, when you're in a relationship, you have to compromise and, you know, work with each other. And that's what we do. And I think that's like when we do okay. Oh, where is your other son all the time? You guys never really talk about him or tape him. I'll take that one.
He is around. I'm just
He
kidding.
actually just left a note on the bed for us.
Yes, he chose not to be in the video. We've asked him if he wanted to be in the videos, and he chose not to. He's fine with it, and we're okay with it. You know, he's gonna be ready one day to actually sit down and do videos with us. But for now, you know, that's his choice, and we respect that choice. And you know, sometimes he do like pop in some of our videos just to say hi or whatnot. But we love him the same way we love Drake.
Of course.
And he knows that.
Of course.
And he's okay with everything. So that is why he's not in the videos.
Yeah, and like when we first started making these videos, you know, we didn't tell him initially, and then eventually we did tell him we made the videos, and we gave him the choice, and he chose to be in the background. And it was when I was making the labor and delivery video where he saw me putting stuff together, and he was like, am I going to be in it? And I was like, well, no, but do you want to be? And he was like, yeah. And that was the first time everybody saw him. And that was because he told me, you know, that he was comfortable with that. I mean, he's going to be 13 this year, so he's old enough to make his own decisions. And this initially started out as me and her. So I wasn't going to force him to be in it. And he's getting more comfortable with it. You know, you guys see him weaving here and there, but I think eventually he might be okay with it. He's never going to sit down in front of the camera. I know that because he's more shy. And he doesn't like attention all crazy. But yeah. But he's doing really good. He has, I mean, as far as adjusting to everything, he loves his family. You know, he loves his brother. He loves Boatie. He calls, you know, he calls her, or when he talks to us, like his moms. You know, I mean, he's super great. He's a great big brother. He's just starting football this year. Oh my Lanta. I'm super excited about that. What else is he doing, babe?
He's been training for football. So he's been working out like every day so far.
And it's so funny, but I didn't tell you today. We're walking, and I'm like, "Why are you walking like that?" And I thought, because he was mad at me earlier today, and because I got onto him. So he was walking, and I'm like, "Son, why are you walking like that?" And I thought he was just being like, attitude. And he's like, "My legs hurt." And he was super serious. Like, he was walking, like, waddling. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So then when we got home, I made him stretch. So I thought it was the cutest thing, because he was, like, real sore. And, it's the first time. Because he played soccer since he was 5. But he's never done the football thing. And in soccer, they don't do the weights all crazy like that. But yeah. But he's great.